Alright, we are back with the third game of the day with the Thunder taking on the Generals. And again, we have no overlay due to some technical difficulties. We apologize for the inconvenience. We will try to get them back up as soon as possible. Until then, I will do my best to keep you updated with the score and time throughout the game. You have Chris Brown with the short completion to number 5. So this will bring it second down. Chris Brown back to pass. And that is incomplete, intended for number 2. Pass just too high, intended for number 2. Broken up by number 3. So that is 4th down. They seem to be going for it with the 20 just a few yards away. And that will bounce out of bounds. Verizon? Mike. There. Good flag pull by number 35. There's 5:40 left in the first quarter. The Thunder will be on offense. So, nice nifty move by Cedric Fulton. And got past the 40. Mike. Nice nifty move. And number 3. Good flag pull. And that is a flag. I believe that is a delay of game on the offense. Down to number 5, back to pass. Oh, and just out of his reach, he could not corral it in. That would be an incomplete pass. 4th down. Let's see if they're going to go for it or if they are going to actually punt it. Going for it. And that is going to be a touchback. Nice kick by number 11, Chris Sheets. There's 1:50 left in the quarter. So Generals will start on their own 20. Oh, and the snap is just too high. Chris back to pass, gets it off. A good play. Pass broken up by number 5. pass broken up by number 14, and that will end the first quarter. They did not want to take any chances. It's Chris Sheets to field it. And good flag pull by number 13. So the Thunder will take over. And after a good return, they have a very short field. That's a run. His flag fell, so when your flag falls, all you have to do is touch that player and they are down. Nice little dump over the top. Completion to number 11, Chris Sheets. Back to pass. Still wide open for the touchdown. That will put the Thunder on top first with the score of 6-0. Now Generals, although they are a familiar name, it is a brand new team with the exception of a few players. You have Chris Brown and Adam West are their two retaining players. Everybody else is brand new to the league. Still trying to get adjusted for the feel of the game and how we played here at Mid-Cities Flag Football League. And that will be incomplete, so that will be 6-0 with the Thunder on top. And the Generals are actually playing shorthanded with only 7 people. So with only 7 on the field, we definitely got to see how this game is going to turn out for them. out of bounds. They will take over the ball at the 40-yard line. And that is a good completed pass. With a very high snap, Chris Brown was able to get his hands underneath it and somehow miraculously got the ball off to number 47, completed for a small gain. Now with a low snap, pass by Chris Brown, caught by number 4, Hill. With 4 minutes left of the game, 4 minutes left in the first half, that score is still 6-0 with the Thunder leading the Generals. Oh, and with a terrible snap, they have got to do something. And the Generals have got to get the snap down. They will punt the ball. One bounce, and Chris Sheet takes the pass. The return taken by number 11, Chris Sheets, puts him roughly around what would be the 30-yard line. So all they have to do is get about 10 yards in order to get the first. Thunder was able to put it in the end zone their last possession. So let's see if they can have the same type of result against only 7 players from the Generals. Good move, but it wasn't enough to escape the good flag pull by number 47. We have 2 minutes left in the first half. Passes up, and that is incomplete. Damn, I like that camera.
All the way back here. Yeah. You had a good long snap, but you do just like this. Post. Like post.
Good move.
Straight post. It was corners.
first. Grant, you gonna take a bunch of pictures? Hey, if you can get them to us. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Play clock is over. The pass just too high and out of the reach. And the offense will take a timeout, their first charge timeout of the half. They will have one remaining. Huh? Oh, the pass. It looked like two crossing routes that almost collided. And that is the last play of the half. So at the half, we have the Thunder leading the Generals 6-0. We are back and we are getting ready to kick off the second half with the Generals down 6-0. And the ball will be down right there. So the to start the second half. The Generals are still playing. It's got to play a big factor in their game plan, and as well as if there is a missing player, that means there is one free player on the Thunder that is unaccounted for. So be sure to keep an eye on that, as that's going to play a big factor of how this game goes. So as a hook and ladder catch on number 11, but there is a penalty on the field. They're going to call flag guarding. Oh no, they're going to call false start on the offense. So that play will be back. There is another penalty and another false start on the Thunder. So Thunder going the opposite direction. Thunder will still need to get to the 40. He snaps the ball. They're going to run it. Oh, and that is a good concentration catch by number 8, Lynn, who was on the ground and it bobbled and still able to actually bring it down and secure the ball for a catch. And that is a good pass and catch. And that will give them a new set of downs. That is a good flag pull by number 47. Oh, and that will be a dead ball. It seems there was some confusion and a bad handling of an exchange for the ball. So they will spot the ball down where it dropped. They will need to get to the 20 for a first down. Thunder back to pass. That is a completed pass to Chris Sheets, who makes a move. And that is a touchdown. Touchdown by number 11, Chris Sheets. And that will put the Thunder ahead 12-0, and they will be going for the 2-point conversion to try to make it 14-0. Yeah, I bet you wish you would have stayed.
Huh? I'm glad I didn't stay. Real shit.
Thunder back to pass. Oh, and he dropped it. So with the failed 2-point conversion, the score is Thunder 12, Generals 0.
I didn't make 17.
They didn't have the hot
We got you spicy nachos.
That works. Thank you. You guys are awesome lifesavers.
Hey, our house open party's next weekend.
You got a house?
We've got an apartment. We got our like a day after y'all got y'all.
Where at?
Over off of 360 and Arkansas. You didn't know we got an apartment?
throws it back. That is a good pull by number 9. De La Cruz with the return. Let's see if the Generals can get something going on offense.
I caught it on a $300 moving special. We just paid the rent yesterday. Put it into a one-bedroom room. It's pretty big though. We have 2 balconies. We have a private balcony for a bedroom included. $630 a month.
Can't beat that.
We have washer and dryer connections, but I'm having a hard time finding the stackable top washer and dryer. It's the stackable.
Yeah. At work. Just a bad pass. Number 13, Chris Brown. I'm not sure who he was intending that pass for. Like I said, having only 7 players on the field is playing a big factor in their game plan. They're limited, and they do have 2 full blockers on the line, which means that gives them 1 less outlet. De La Cruz takes over at quarterback. And they are going to rule that a catch right at the 40-yard line. So that will be enough. They give him a good spot, and that'll be enough for the first. So De La Cruz, the ball slipped out of his hand. So it seems that they make a switch at quarterback to see if that will give them any momentum in trying to get some points on the board. And like that, that is the end of the quarter. With the Thunder leading 12-0 against the Generals. Now the Generals only need 1 score in order to actually climb back into this game. Let's see if they can get it in the end zone with only 7 players. De La Cruz back to pass. He avoids the rush. And they get him for a sack. And a good rush by number 9, Cedric Fulton, to stay with it and be able to get him for a huge loss. De La Cruz back to pass. And that is a pass broken up by number 14, but there is a penalty on the play. And they are going to call the Thunder for a bull rush. So with that, that will give them a few yards, which will push them past the 40, and that will be enough for the first down. Correction, they were they were in front of the 40. With that sack, they were moved back. So it is actually 4th down, and they have to gain the 20. They have to gain to the 20-yard line in order to get a fresh set of downs. Let's see if they're able to try to get one in. Good avoiding the rush. And just a bad throw. And it was just a bad throw. One of them that, De La Cruz wished he had back. He was avoiding the rush and just lobbed it up there. His receiver was in double coverage. Just had no opportunity to try to make a play on that ball. So the Thunder will take over about 5 yards shy of the 40. Back to pass. And he lobs it deep, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for number 2, T.C. Wallace. A rush. Maxey, flag pulled by number 47, Williams. Oh, the pass is not able to be reeled in by number 9. So we have 6:40 left in the quarter. Thunder back to pass. That is a completed pass to number 2, Wallace, who's still up. Flag pulled. Well, I believe number 2. So like that, the Thunder moved back into scoring position, which would put them up by 3 scores. As it currently sits, the score is 12-0. The Generals trailing. I'll see what time it's going to start. I'll let you know. Thunder back to pass. Throws it to the back of the end zone. And a great adjustment catch. let's see if he was in.
Hey, what was the score?
They are going to say that he was out of bounds. He is out of bounds. So with that, there will be no touchdown on this play. So Thunder back to pass again. Trying to find an open receiver. He's got one. Oh, and just over the head of his receiver in the back of the end zone. He makes a spin move. He's still up. And that is the touchdown. He scampers his way in for the touchdown. And like that, that puts up the Thunder with the score of 18-0. And at this point, it's just got to be demoralizing for the Generals, knowing that they're playing undermanned and getting outplayed in every aspect of the game so far. So the Thunder will be going for one. There's going to be no need to try to tack on unnecessary points. He's back to pass. He's trying to put on receiver. He's got one, and he is in. So the extra point is good, which now makes the score 19-0. We have 2 minutes left in the quarter. And this game seems to be the Generals. Like that, this game seems to be out of reach for the Generals with the score of 19-0. So if the game continues and it stays the same without a miraculous comeback, that will drop the Generals down to 0-3 for the season, and that will improve the Thunder to 2-1 on the season. That was a good flag just past the 20. So that's where the Generals will actually take over their possession. De La Cruz back to pass. Trying to look for an open receiver. He finds an open receiver, number 2, who actually makes the catch. Tackle made by number 2, T.C. Wallace. And the offense will call a timeout.
They call me, I'm going to say, all right, how much you guys pay with Ron? All right. You give me that as my signing bonus. I'm in.
He told me a $15,000 signing bonus.
Yeah.
To come back to the aviation.
Yeah, you get half of it back. Or you don't even, Uncle Sam gets half.
for a holding on the defense. So they were going to tack on 5 extra yards, which pushes them past the 40 and a new set of downs. De La Cruz back to pass. He finds an opportunity and lets it rip. Oh, just outside the reach intended for number 13, Chris Brown, who seemed to have just stopped on the play. It does not seem like the receivers and the quarterbacks are on the same page at all in this game. Now, it's very hard to be on the same page when you're playing a man short the entire game. Cruz pass number 4. Caught by number 4, but there is a penalty on the play.
Dude, I was gone and I did all my pre-screening and everything. Got through all that, and she told me she's pregnant.
The Generals will take their last and final timeout of the half. They no longer can stop the clock. Remember, the clock does not stop for incomplete passes, only for change of possession and out of bounds. De La Cruz back to pass. He's scrambling. He finds an open receiver, catches it by number 4. Tries to make a move to get around number 9, but is not able to do so. Clock is still rolling. They're in hurry-up mode. They want to try to get on the board. De La Cruz back to pass. Escapes the rush. By 2 players, escapes the rush, so he's going to take off running. And finally, after some good juking and jiving, the flag is pulled by number 11, Chris Sheets.
You need to go back. If you're going to go back, go air me. Go to air me. Can't go back. Can't go back as a prior Marine. Air Force was big. I tried to go back.
Cruz back to pass. He's running. He finds the receiver and he just lets it rip, but that is an ill-advised throw. It just seems like a bad pass, and it is intercepted by number 10. But they call for a penalty, and it is actually roughing the passer, so that will negate. I believe that will negate the interception.
And they get out and work as a civilian for about 130 grand a year. My buddy, he did.
So that will negate the interception made by number 10.
He got out. He's over.
So they will have another opportunity to try to get one in the end zone. De La Cruz back to pass. He's rushing. He's trying to find an open receiver. He can't escape the rush. And he made somebody miss, and he lets it rip. And pass intended for Chris Brown, who could not reel it in the end zone. And like that, that is how the game will end, with the Generals, for the 3rd game in a row, failing to put any points on the board. And they will drop to 0-3 on the season, and the Thunder will improve to 2-1 to start off this season. Now, there's still a lot of football left for the Generals, but they have to come together and make sure they have all their players show up and get a game plan to try to compete in this league. There's plenty of talent spread across the entire league that if you're down a man, it's really going to play a huge factor. So that concludes this game. We'll be right back with our next upcoming game.